Tonight on Nightline, House of Cards. Shocking new figures reveal a record real estate slump across the nation. So how bad are things in your neighborhood right now? We're live with the answers. Surgery on plastic. As the country struggles under a mountain of debt, weave the story of one woman who put a $30,000 gastric bypass surgery on a credit card. And the funny side of faith. Bill Maher's new film mocks religion. So what's wrong with having faith?
From the global resources of ABC News with Terry Moran, Martin Bashir, and Cynthia McFadden in New York City, this is Nightline, September 30th, 2008.
Good evening. There's news tonight that the Senate will vote tomorrow on a revamped version of the $700 billion rescue package that was rejected by the House of Representatives yesterday. And if you needed evidence that action is now absolutely essential, then look no farther than the housing market. New figures released today reveal that house prices in 20 American cities have dropped more than 16% in a single year. And in some places, the figure is much worse. In Phoenix, prices went down 29%. In Miami, 28%. And in the city of Los Angeles, only marginally better at 26%. And that's where we begin tonight, as Brian Rooney reports from Southern California on how the housing market is contributing to an economy in crisis.
Back in January, a development of mass-produced luxury houses called Stone Canyon Preserve provided a perfect snapshot of what was happening in the market for what's known as McMansions. Houses for sale in this Claremont, California neighborhood were a mixture of bank-owned, listed by distressed owners, or still being sold new and cheap by the builder, all into a market of dropping prices. Fewer real estate signs today show that some of the distressed properties have sold and other homes were delisted. But now, a flat market may slip into shock as Congress debates the Wall Street bailout and the stock market melts. Broker Shar Costantino says the effect was immediate.
Absolutely. Our phones stopped ringing. Our calls, we have a direct line into our office that we get directly from our clients' signs, and that stopped completely.
Everything, appliances, granite, tile, carpet, everything is upgraded.
Last winter, Costantino's clients, Ahmad Hamadanian and his wife Mitra, were trying to sell this 5,600 square foot house that they originally thought would make them a bundle.
Yeah, we thought this is going to be okay, and after a couple of years, we can sell it.
They paid $1.2 million, took out a second loan, and then poured in another $500,000. Their loan payments were about to double, and they needed pretty close to their asking price of just under $2 million to get out even. They didn't get it, and they took the house off the market. A few blocks away, Abraham Pratella was representing this house, which still had dirt for a lawn. The owner was a speculator with 100% financing who defaulted on the mortgage after paying $1.3 million. The lenders turned down short sale offers as high as $975,000, foreclosed, and recently reached a deal to sell it for just $900,000. This is somewhat of an extreme example, or is this fairly typical of how these things are rolling over?
This is extreme for Claremont, but overall, all over, this is normal.
So it's being resold to an individual owner at roughly 60% of the money that was sunk into it.
That's about right.
Where once almost anyone could get a loan to buy one of these houses, now nearly no one qualifies. From August to August, home prices throughout Los Angeles County dropped by an average of 35%, although in upscale Claremont, the drop was half that, 17%. For a while, Jim Butler couldn't make payments on this 4-bedroom, 4,500 square foot house, now for sale at $1.6 million, just enough to pay the $1.3 million mortgage.
I was looking to move in here, stay for 1 to 3 years, make $1 million, sell the house, and use $1 million for retirement.
Butler had been going into default, but worked a deal with his lender to keep him out of foreclosure and keep the bank from taking another house it didn't want. Char Costantino is his broker.
I think that the banks really are making a wise decision by helping the homeowner.
Abraham Pratella still sells houses, but he's gone into a side business cleaning up and repairing houses that were vandalized by evicted owners. This is one of the worst he's seen.
They stripped down all the kitchen cabinets, took out all the granite. They stole all the appliances.
Pratella says what may look like a certain calm in his market today belies what may be coming. Another wave of foreclosures as homeowners default on the last of the adjustable mortgages ratcheting upward.
So by spring of next year, will be like the final, well, that's what we say, the final wave of short sales and foreclosures.
So the option arms tripped this past summer?
They did.
And so, okay, so the last of the 2-year option arms were tripped roughly July, August, and it will take until next spring until you start seeing another wave of foreclosures and bank owns and
Correct.
short sales.
Yes.
Okay. And you fully expect that's going to happen? You're going to see it?
It's going to happen.
And after that, maybe in a couple of years, some kind of sanity will return to the real estate market across the country and here in Stone Canyon Preserve. This is Brian Rooney for Nightline in Claremont, California.
Southern California is not alone. Our thanks to Brian Rooney. And when we come back, the story of one woman who took tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt when she paid for gastric bypass surgery entirely on plastic.
Steps 2, 3, and
Whatever steps you're taking to impress your partner, don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. To learn more, take a spin around Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Now's the time to take the lead. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Vegetables need more time in the sun ripening and less time on the stove being overcooked. So to make Campbell's condensed soup, we don't boil it down. We just add less water from the start.
So many, many reasons it's so good.
The latest star voted off dancing on an all-new Jimmy coming up on ABC.
ABC tomorrow at 8/7 Central. A season premiere so dazzling, so romantic, and so hilarious. It's unlike anything else on television.
That sounds magical.
ABC's Pushing Daisies. Season premiere tomorrow at 8/7 Central on ABC.
When there's a fire, they're there. When someone is hurt, they soothe their pain. When your child goes to school, they build their future. Bill Sizemore's Measure 64 unfairly takes away the voice of our public servants. 64 would limit nurses from advocating for safer staffing, undermine firefighters' ability to help in emergencies, and make it harder for teachers to work together to improve our schools. Join Oregon's teachers, firefighters, and nurses and vote no on 64.
Large credit card debt is often associated with people buying things they don't need with money they don't have. But tonight, we introduce you to a woman who believed she had no alternative but to take on a massive loan from a credit card company. And the money wasn't used to buy a new car or an expensive vacation. She says she took on the debt in order to save her life, as Neil Karlinski now reports.
How are you? Are you ready for me?
Jonna Vincent's life revolves around keeping herself alive. Routine visits like this one to the chiropractor
How are you?
have become daily pit stops, regular maintenance to keep her going. Let's be honest, if you saw Jonna on the street, you might look at her and think, now there is a person that needs to go on a diet. She is, in fact, morbidly obese. Her 5'3" frame carries between 270 and 280 pounds on average, and her doctor is recommending a surgery she can't afford.
I don't want to live like this anymore. And I will do anything. I will sell my house. I will give up everything.
The weight is literally killing her.
This is my medicines.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And then here's the morphine that I have to take for the pain in my back.
She has a laundry list of complications: diabetes, sleep apnea, which is straining her heart, spinal disc disease, arthritis, and incontinence, and the list goes on.
I wear this mask, and it goes on my face so I can breathe, so it helps me at night.
Do you wake up some mornings and think, how did it come to this?
Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I can't even get out of bed. My legs don't work. Can't get to the bathroom. It's scary.
She says doctors have told her that bariatric surgery is a necessity because time is running out. The surgery involves literally stapling her stomach to make a small pouch, meaning she has no choice but to eat less because there's so little space. There's just one problem. Her insurance company is suggesting a diet program. Her request to have the roughly $30,000 surgery covered was rejected. They won't pay.
Not to sound harsh, but some people looking in might say, listen, why should the insurance company pay for this? You should change your diet, exercise more.
I've been on several different diets. I've been on several different exercise programs. I'm not a candy bar person. I don't sit and eat bonbons in my room at night. I don't have that kind of a problem.
She says it's a hormone imbalance and no amount of weight loss programs will fix it. Her doctor agrees. Jana lives in tiny Soldotna, Alaska. She has 3 kids and a husband who does painting and drywall work. Paying for the surgery on her own would be impossible.
We're a K-6 elementary school.
Her father, Skip, is a school custodian, and he can't afford the surgery either. But he's paying for it anyway on a credit card with a 22% interest rate.
You know, financial advisors would tell you that putting a huge sum like that on a credit card at that interest rate is a bad idea.
It's a bad idea, and that's why the strategy is to get the house refinanced and drag some money out of the equity.
And put it into the credit card bill right away?
Yeah.
And what if you can't do that?
We'll just struggle along with it and get it done.
He worries his daughter will die without the surgery.
We can't afford to delay and jump through all of the hoops again. There may not be time.
Bariatric surgery is increasingly routine, but not without complications for Jana. Her son Adam, mature well beyond his 12 years, takes care of his mom and now does most of the work around the house for her.
What do you think of the operation she's going to have?
It's very risky, and if something goes wrong, she could die.
Jana is worried too, but desperate.
I'm ready to give up anything for this, to get back to being with my family and doing activities with them again.
2 weeks later and 4,000 miles away in La Jolla, California, Jana is headed for the operating room.
What are you allergic to?
Codeine.
What happens when you take codeine?
Makes me really sick.
There's no going back. Jana had hoped her insurance would come through at the last minute. It hasn't. So with her mother by her side, credit card at the ready, she heads in for gastric bypass surgery.
How are we doing?
Scared.
She calls home one last time before going in.
I miss you very much, and I love you, and hopefully everything will go good.
Dr. Alan Whitgrove performs the surgery.
Well, those are the adhesions we were talking about. It's not too terrible.
Dr. Whitgrove firmly believes the insurance company should have paid. As for Jana's parents charging it to a credit card...
Well, they love her. There's no question about that. And we have that happen, unfortunately, all too often.
He says 32% of his patients pay for the surgery themselves, often taking out a second mortgage or putting it on a credit card like Jana. After about 3 hours, Jana's surgery is over. Her mother, whose retirement plans are now intertwined with the cost of her daughter's surgery, is relieved to hear everything has gone well.
Hey, sweetheart. Oh, darling. It's all over.
It's all done. Everything went great. No problems, nothing with your liver.
Let me get that for you.
A week and a half later, Jana is ready to head home. At her final checkup, she's already lost 14 pounds. Her diabetes is completely gone, and she's able to walk without pain.
I feel great. I feel wonderful. I feel healthier.
But there will be no insurance coverage, just the family credit card. The heavy burden of paying her parents back, painful as it is, just doesn't seem that bad compared to where she was before surgery.
So I will take care of it, whatever I have to do, sell my house. I'll do whatever it takes, get a job as soon as I get home. I'm ready.
14 pounds down already, she says her goal is to lose another 100, and with that, to take back her life.
Anyway, I'm so glad it's over for you, baby. Me too.
At this rate, she may be thin long before she's out of debt. I'm Neil Karlinski for Nightline in La Jolla, California.
And Jana continues to follow her doctor's orders. She's already lost 42 pounds, and you can read more about her surgery by clicking on the Nightline page at abcnews.com. Our thanks to Neil Karlinski. And when we come back, religion as comedy. Bill Maher explains why he believes the Almighty may not be averse to some laughter.
We're taught that we have to be at our best every day, and it starts with a healthy, naturally white smile. New Crest Pro Health Whitening helps reveal our teeth's natural whiteness by reducing up to 80% of surface stains, and also protects all these other areas dentists check most, so your smile is always at its best. Show your good health with your naturally white smile. New Crest Pro Health Whitening. Also try New Crest Weekly Clean for a smooth, clean feeling in between dental visits.
In the midst of war, Senator Obama voted to cut off funding for our troops. What did Biden say?
They said they voted against the money to make a political point.
He added,
This is cutting off support that will save the lives of thousands of American troops.
Barack Obama, playing politics, risking lives, not ready to lead.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
You're fighting one of the most powerful corporations in the world.
Flash of Genius is the remarkable true story about a man with unbelievable determination and heart. It's hugely entertaining.
It's just a windshield wiper. To me, it's the Mona Lisa.
Flash of Genius. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
Constipation, bloating, gas, diarrhea. People, is your colon sending you a message? Now there's new Philips Colon Health with probiotics. It helps naturally restore the balance in your digestive system, so you can avoid those very unpleasant symptoms with new Philips Colon Health.
All of this money belongs to the Darlings?
Daddy, rich.
Tomorrow.
I have a nose for high-end misbehavior.
Who wouldn't want to be a darling? ABC's Dirty Sexy Money. Season premiere tomorrow, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Why would a liberal Democrat like me vote for Gordon Smith? Because I've seen Gordon stand by his principles many times against his own party, supporting funding for women's health clinics and gay rights, opposing oil drilling in Alaska, and so important to me, he was one of the first Republicans to break with George Bush and his party to end this awful war. His integrity and honesty are good for Oregon.
I'm Gordon Smith, and I approve this ad.
It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
It's the best dress event ever at Ross, with a bigger selection of the top brands than ever before. The latest looks at incredible savings, like this great cocktail dress, $79 at department stores, but only $24.99 at Ross. Or this classic look, why pay $49 when it's only $17.99 at Ross? The best dress event ever. Don't miss it.
Oregon's economy is hurting, and gas prices are out of control. But Jeff Merkley can't see the forest for the trees. Jeff Merkley voted to increase the gas tax 4 different times. And Jeff Merkley supported all kinds of job-killing tax hikes. Merkley voted for higher personal income taxes, higher taxes on businesses, higher property taxes. Merkley even voted against the kicker tax refund. Jeff Merkley. He's bad for job growth in Oregon. The National Republican Senatorial Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Nightline continues from New York City with Martin Bashir.
It's one thing for a comedian to attack politicians, but it's quite another to impugn the almighty. But for Bill Maher, nothing is sacred. His new film, Religulous, is an uncompromising attack on religious belief, and that's because to him, faith is not just funny, it can be dangerous. As Bill Weir now reports in the latest instalment of our series, Faith Matters.
And Obama yesterday had lunch with Bill Clinton because if there's one guy who knows a thing or two about pigs and lipstick.
Long before Bill Maher made a living mocking the mighty, he spent his childhood Sundays in a Catholic pew, raised by a Jewish mother.
Of course you didn't go to church with us.
No. The kind of mix, he has long joked, that had him bring a lawyer to confession.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I think you know Mr. Cohen.
Like George Carlin before him,
God told him it was a good idea.
Maher spent years sprinkling disdain for dogma into his act. But his new film is much more than just jokes about the Pope's hat. Religulous is a full frontal assault on the belief systems that most of humanity holds dear, from the Vatican
Buongiorno.
to the Wailing Wall to the Mormon Temple.
To be a Mormon is to believe some really crazy stuff.
He mugs faith and the faithful with a cold blade of logic.
But does it make a difference that we now understand what a meteor is?
This is the stone of God.
Yes, right. Why doesn't he just obliterate the devil and therefore get rid of evil in the world?
He will.
He will.
Yeah,
What's he waiting for?
Were you really going out looking to learn anything?
I didn't want to be disingenuous about it. That, you know, we could have pretended that I was on a spiritual journey and that I started here, and that's not true. I've known for a long time that religion is silly and dangerous. I really don't like it when anybody says you can't talk about this, and I think this is something we really desperately need to talk about.
Most religions start with the premise that human beings are flawed, that we need redemption of some sort. Do you think you're flawed?
Of course, I'm human. Are you kidding? You are who you are. Whether you believe in the imaginary friend or the old book of Jewish fairy tales or not is not going to change that. I'll tell you someone who's flawed, the God of the Old Testament. There's a petty, jealous, psychopathic God who cares more about you worshiping him and not building statues, and he does nothing but wipe people out for no good reason. There's a flawed character.
In this country, the richest, most evolved civilization, 92% of Americans believe in God.
No, I don't think that's true. The last statistic I saw said 16% were atheist or agnostic. It's certainly true that among Western nations, we are by far the most religious, and our views on things like heaven and hell and is there a devil are much more in line with countries like Turkey and Iran than they are with, you know, Belgium, France, Germany, you know, all those countries.
And how do you account for that?
Well, we're a young country, and we're, of course, a dumb country.
What if we right and you wrong? We gonna make it and you ain't.
Maher tries to make that point mostly across the American South, from a trucker's chapel in North Carolina to a creation museum in Kentucky.
Immediately, people see dinosaurs and people together, which is very different.
To the office of Arkansas Senator Mark Pryor.
Do you believe in evolution?
I don't know how it all happened. I mean, I'm certainly willing to accept
it couldn't possibly have been Adam and Eve 5,000 years ago with a talking snake in a garden, could it?
Well, it could have possibly been.
You're a senator. It worries me that people are running my country who believe in a talking snake.
You don't have to pass an IQ test to be in the Senate, though.
I know you're a Barack Obama fan. Mm-hmm. He's an intelligent guy. Mm-hmm. He reaffirmed his Christianity, his faith.
I can only hope he's lying. There's absolutely no doubt that if you were to express anything but utter faith in the Christian God, you could never get anywhere near the White House. Obviously, there are people who are with great intelligence who have religious beliefs. I've always argued this away by saying it's a neurological disorder when you wall off a certain part of your mind.
Is there room for a benign religion in your mind?
Sure. Look, there's room for everything. People can do whatever they want. They can worship Furby if they want. I don't care. I mean, I'm for freedom.
He is not quite this tolerant in the film. Maher and his director, Larry Charles, argue that in the age of nuclear weapons, religion must be dismissed by everyone before it kills us all.
the second coming, the apocalypse, Armageddon. These are things built into both Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. All of them. This is God's will to destroy the world, to recreate it in some kind of paradise.
Hearing him speak like this, you might forget that Charles also directed lighter fare, like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
You like sponge cake?
Who doesn't?
Yeah. And Borat.
And my name is Borat.
What's man?
Nice to meet you.
Yo, get the out of here before I break your jaw, bro.
His ambush style of cringe-inducing comedy ruffled more than a few feathers, but this...
The fashion industry, the Islamic fashion industry, you feel that's been hobbled at all by the fact that homosexuality is a sin punishable by death?
This could bring more than just lawsuits.
If nothing else, maybe Christians, Jews, and Muslims will unite in their hatred of you.
Exactly. There's something, yes. Well, as I like to say, if we get murdered, it makes a great DVD extra. So I'm okay with that.
And finally, what do you say to someone who says, Bill, Larry, I'll pray for you?
Thank you.
That's exactly
You know
right.
what? I mean, what am I going to say to them? If that's where they are, I'm probably not going to convince them to come over to our point of view. I mean, I'd like to be able to say to them, you know what? Instead of praying, learn. I preach the gospel of I don't know.
I'm Bill Weir for Nightline in Los Angeles.
And Religulous will open in wide release Friday. Our thanks to Bill Weir. And we'll be right back.
ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Geico.
All right, sports fans, it's time to find Geico's ultimate fan. Tonight's winner will receive Geico t-shirts, hats, and an upgrade to courtside seats, and could star in a real Geico commercial. Let's see who it's gonna be. It looks like we have a winner. Yes, we do, folks. How about that? Congratulations. And remember, saving money at Geico.com, so easy a caveman can do it.
When you see what we've done with veggies, you'll think it's uncanny. Introducing V8 soups from Campbell's. A full serving of vegetables in a soup so velvety and delicious, you won't be able to contain yourself. New Campbell's V8 soups.
I'm in the Vatican. Religulous is a blasphemous detonation of all things holy.
Why doesn't God obliterate the devil?
He will.
He will. What's he waiting for?
Bill Maher has turned religion on its ear.
Welcome to Bible country!
Religulous, rated R. In theaters everywhere Friday.
Sarah Palin, Joe Biden, face off. The VP debate Thursday night on ABC. Then, the only place to see both presidential candidates and their wives in an all-new